there guys, and welcome back to my channel and to episode 2 of 3 looks 1 palette.
Wow, okay, please excuse that lash glue. I have no idea how it got there.
So in today's video we are playing around with the Essence Which Side palette. So this one was sent to me just before lockdown actually. I think it was in about March, and I've had one play around with it, but today we're going to create a couple more looks for you. So if you're wanting to see how I create these 3 beautiful looks, then just keep watching. Okay, cool, so let's get started. So obviously I am going into the Which Side palette. This palette was actually sent to me, I think literally like the day before or the day of lockdown. I got a huge box from Cosmetics filled with Essence and Catrice and Caribbean Tan gifts, so they actually really spoiled me. So I have created a look with this eyeshadow palette before. I think I used these kind of like burgundy shades, but this blue is like really calling me. So I think I'm going to do something with this blue for the first look. So this blue is a shimmer, but I'm thinking, I'm kind of just wanting to do like a smoked out blue eye. I'm just taking the Morphe M503. It's that flat kind of dense, it's kind of like a packing and blending brush, and I'm just going to start off by putting that on my outer corner and see what happens with this color.
Breaking news got me breaking. I was present, hopeless, praying. Struck down at 20, plenty left to put behind you. You ain't peaked, never speaking, now they speaking about you, leave it alone.
So these shades are uber pigmented and going on beautifully. This really is the most beautiful, like rich and creamy blue shimmer. The great thing about these is that they're super pigmented and super buttery as well. There's like a little to no fallout, and I love it. It's gorgeous. So I think next up I'm just going to dip into Supernatural, which is that beautiful kind of muted cool tone brown, and I'm just going to diffuse the edges. Alright, and then I think I'm going to take Ritual, which is the lightest shade in the palette. I don't think I want to put more shimmer on the inside of the lid. I think I want to keep it matte because we've got like the beautiful blue shimmer. So I'm going to put Ritual just kind of where I've cut the crease. And I'm just taking that on the Morphe M116, which is a very flat pack brush. Then I'm just taking a little pencil brush and going back into that blue and just defining these outer edges over here, just so that they don't look so kind of rough. Just rounding off the edges neatly. Okay, then I think I'm just going to put the blue on the lower lash line and buff it out with Supernatural, kind of like what I did on the top lid. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why I'm down, yeah. And this is it for the first look, just like a beautiful smoked out blue smoky eye. The great thing about Essence is obviously they are super affordable, but the quality of their eyeshadows is just amazing. Even, I mean, their mattes, their pressed pigments, their shimmers, everything is really great. I mean, the pressed pigments in here, which I'm sure we're going to play with a little bit more now, they're quite chunky, but they are blinding. And then this blue shimmer is just gorgeous as well. It kind of comes off looking a little bit matte, but then as soon as you catch the light, you just get this like beautiful gleam. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Essence eyeshadows. So I think this is very dark and Jamalda, so let us move on maybe to something a little bit like lighter and more fun. So let me take this off and I'll be right back. I forgot to take a photo. Carl and I shared a bottle of wine last night, and I woke up in the middle of the night with a throbbing headache of half a bottle of wine. Amateur. Oh, that's cold. To warm up my coffee. I think this is too hot now. Okay, so obviously I'm not priming my eyes. because I'm taking that eyeshadow off immediately afterwards and I don't need longevity. But obviously if you guys are recreating these looks at home, you can prime your eyes. I'm just taking whatever concealer is left over on my sponge and placing it there. Let's get into the second look. So I am feeling these like beautiful soft pinky tones on the side, and I definitely want to play around with these crushed pigments. Okay, so first off, I think I'm going to dip into the shade Charmed, which is a kind of beautiful like muted purpley shade, and I'm going to place that into my crease. Again, these shadows are just so easy to work with. Usually a lot of the cheaper brands struggle to get their mattes right. They're patchy, or just there's like no punch and no pigment as soon as you apply it, and they kind of just dissipate to nothing. But these just, they're really buttery, and they don't come off patchy. They're really easy to work with. The pigment's great, and yeah, I can never plug Essence enough. They are fab. This is a beautiful color. Really, really pretty. Are you talking to me now? Hey? What is it? What is it? I've also just placed a bit of charm on the outer corners as well, and just kind of like diffuse that color upwards. And now I think I'm going to dip into Magic, which has a little bit of like a purpley undertone, but it is more brown. But I'm just going to use that to deepen the outer corners and just like the edge of the crease, the outer corner of the crease. I'm also just using the same brush that I used to apply charm, which is the MAC 217 blending brush, which you can, this brush just does everything you need it to. And then I'm just going to take that soft peachy color, Wish, again a nice matte shade, and place that on the lid and inner corner. This one is very light. I would prefer it to be like a little bit peachier, but it's not too bad. And then lastly, I'm going to dip into Amulet, which is that beautiful pressed pigment, and I think I'm just going to put that on the inner corner, just with a detailed pencil brush. I think I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of setting spray as well, just so that I can really get that color payoff. I was going to keep the eye all matte, but I think I want to just take a little bit of that Amulet on my finger and just kind of like pat it onto the inner corner, just to bring a little bit of light there. Okay, I'm just going to repeat those darker matte shadows just on my lower lash line. Alright, so I just left lashes off for this though, because I feel like it's a little bit more chill, down to earth, wearable, but still very like pretty. So these crushed like pigments over here, they aren't exactly my favorite. They're really glittery, and I don't know if you can see there is like quite a lot of fallout, so they are difficult to work with. I mean, they're beautiful, but I mean these two shades kind of like come up the same because there's a lot of that like white pigment in it. So yeah, not the easiest to work with, but it still just gave it a very like pretty look overall, very like fairy inspired. But let me take this look off and get on to the last look, and I'm kind of feeling maybe going for something like along here. Okay, let's hop right in. So I'm going to go into Spell, which is a beautiful dark like rich kind of like chocolatey color, and I'm going to place that on the outer corners and in the crease, and I think I'm going to do like a cut crease vibe for this look. So this is definitely going to be a little bit more of a dramatic look. So I've kept the shape quite round. I usually like blow my my eyeshadow out and kind of like give it a cat eye effect, but I thought, you know, just to show a different option for those who prefer something a little bit rounder, who don't like the cat eye effect. So I'm also going to dip again into that Supernatural shade and just diffuse the outer edges. Next up, I'm going to go into Haunted, which is this beautiful kind of like pewter color, but it does swatch with like a bit of a brown undertone, which is beautiful. So I'm going to focus like mainly on the inner corner. And then with that same flat pack brush, I'm just going to go into Wicked, which it is a crushed pigment, so let's just see how it works. But it is much darker, so I'd like to see if I get more of that darkness, and I'm just going to place that kind of in the middle of the lid towards the outer darker shade. So it's actually almost giving off like a bit of a bluey green reflect, which I don't mind. I love how this is actually turning out. I feel like this is the look that should go with this palette, because it's called Witch Side, and I feel this is giving very witchy kind of vibes. I'm just lastly going to take Haunted again and just place that on my lower lash line. This look is giving me such like witchy Stevie Nicks vibes. I think this is my favorite look out of all three, definitely. That pressed pigment Wicked, it's got that same like white reflect running through it, which has almost like a bluey green kind of tinge to it. But it's actually like complemented the look really beautifully, and it's given it like a bit of like a pewter look, like on the eye mixed with the Haunted shimmer as well. I don't know, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I paired it with this new Catrice lippy that I actually received yesterday. This is their Generation Matte in the shade Muddy Madness. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's like very 90s. I love it. Beautiful nudie brown chocolate deliciousness. That concludes today's video. If you guys enjoyed this, then please do give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Also comment down below what your favorite look was. I think this definitely was my favorite look. Don't forget to keep an eye out on my Instagram page so that you can help me decide which eyeshadow palette I should do in the next video. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching.